Hello and a warm welcome to our SfYC training video, a resource approach, Module 2, Learning Unit 6, Video 1. The duration over time, the soul assumes the color of the thoughts. In the following learning video, we will speak about strengthen and grow, diversity of resources, techniques and interventions, such as language and questions, picture frame, treasure chest, or pathways with symbols. And last but not least, what that means for our practice. Okay, hello. Today we are working on the resource-oriented approach of SfYC method, and I would like to explain this with the help of a small intervention. I have here a golden and a black frame, and with this you can perfectly work on strengths and weaknesses. And for example, if I work with young people, I ask them to choose symbols for strengths and choose also symbols for weaknesses. And it could be like this. I do it in a very short way now. I do like this and this and this. I shorten the process now. As an example, maybe a young girl tells me, okay, I choose this as a strength because I'm very good at, if there is a conflict in my class, I'm the person always that people come to de-escalate the situation. I'm very good at this. But if I am involved myself in a conflict, I'm the one who is very loud, very fast, and I use words which are not so kind. Okay, after that, I ask the young people, maybe I work with a group or I work with just with two people, with me and the client. And so the next step is to think about what this behavior is good for. Because I think behind every behavior, even if we can't understand it, is there a certain sense. It's not to make me angry as a professional. It's not about this. I'm not so important. It's about, there's a sense behind it, and there is resources in it. And in this example, to get angry so fast, I think there are many resources. The young lady is very aware of her own feelings, and she's very good at expressing her feelings, and she's protecting herself, and she has a big awareness of her own borders and the moment when she feels attacked. And also, she said she's very good at de-escalating, so I think she's also good in protecting other people. And about the topic, what's about when starts the process of attacking someone and violating a border. So I think this could be also a very big resource, and she could use it, and maybe later on she could be a good social worker, or I don't know, to calm down conflicts professionally like this. With simple work, you can work on resources. For example, with the intervention of treasure chest, the resource competence pathway, picture frame, as you have seen in the video, resource maps, etc. It is advisable to do this with young people and with peers and the family regularly. That leads to an increase of self-value, of a change of viewing perspective, to a positive group climate, to a praise of the family, and last but not least, to growth and motivation. Now we will speak about diversity of resources. You can visualize this in a resource map, for example. A regular work with this map with young people and the peers and families, for example, improves the resource-oriented view. There are personal resources, like personality traits, who am I, or competences and skills, what can I do? There are social resources, like family, friends, acquaintances, etc. There are also resources in the social surrounding, like sport clubs, community, neighborhood, etc. Material resources like mobiles, PC, clothes and money, etc. And other resources In systems, structures, behaviors, and also problems can resources be found. We come to techniques and interventions. It is important to keep this resource-oriented attitude throughout the whole counseling process and to use a resource-oriented language or to ask resource-oriented questions, as you can see in the following. As SfYC for use care interventions, there are the work with picture frame you have seen in the video, the work of treasure chest or resource competence pathway. In the SfYC for use care concept note IO2 small interventions, the work with the treasure chest and symbols is described in detail. It's a nice method to secure resources. In the following video sequence, you can see an example of the work with the resource and competence pathway.
Mit 6 fing ich an, bin ich zum ersten Mal nach Fuerteventura geflogen und bin mit Schiff rumgefahren, also mit dem Schiff gesegelt oder so.
At the age of 6, he went the first time to Fuerteventura, and there he went on a sailing boat.
Und da fing ich an, dass ich auf jeden Fall um die Welt reisen will.
And at this point, he started wishing to explore the world.
Und die Baukäste mit 6 habe ich auch angefangen, also mir liegt es im Blut quasi, dass ich was basteln will, bauen quasi mit den Händen.
The toolbox is the symbol for him being able and wanting to build something.
Und das zweite Symbol war mit 8. Da habe ich einfach ein Fragezeichen, weil ich hatte viele Fragen gehabt.
The next symbol is a question mark because at the age of 8 he had lots of questions.
What does this mean for our SfYC for use care practice? It is good to keep a resource-oriented attitude and moderation. For example, to welcome people with recognition, as you have seen in a prior learning video. Identification of topics and development of goals. Please watch the learning unit goal attainment. Resource-oriented introduction of the counseling steps. Resource-oriented summaries and bundling processes and developments. For example, at the end of the counseling step of observation or interpretation, it is helpful to summarize what have been said from peers or the group in a resource-oriented way. We focus on resources, ideas and positive aspects. Positive goals like have been set, and it's good to focus on small steps. In the counseling process, especially in the counseling step of interpretation, it could be very helpful to ask the persons, what is the benefit of your behavior or the problem you want to get rid of? What do you get out of it? Acceptance of unpleasant feelings or problems is often the first step towards reinterpretation. In the step of agreement, it can often be helpful to invite the client to a change of perspective. They should find a place from where they would like to watch their work. It is often helpful to accompany clients and also to change place. One resource-oriented question of change could be, for example, after a change of perspective. After you have laid out and sorted your theme, heard a lot of positive feedback and ideas, now changed the perspective and got your own ideas, what would you like to change about your picture? Now we come to the end of the counseling session. Let people develop and summarize the results and solution ideas and first steps and agreements. It is helpful to point out the initial questions and ask for initial ideas for answers. Ask for ideas for a review of the agreements by counselor and our peers. We finish with a quote from Wilfried Schneider: I work on the healthiness and not on the disease. I am working on the skills and not the undesired skills. I do not talk and work about it, I talk and work with it. I say play on the pavement and not don't play on the street. Thank you for watching and see you next time.